Question number 4, instead of given an equation or a graph, we're given this image of a kid throwing a basketball. And if you notice, the shape of that is a parabola. It's a U shape. Okay, so we're going to use this to our advantage to figure out our equation. We see here that this measures on the floor on the x-axis. It measures 24 feet. And over the vertex, we're going to look for the vertex to help us. Vertex is a halfway point. So the halfway right here is going to be at 12, 0, because 24 divided by 2 is 12. And we're told right here vertically that this goes up 18 feet. So if I find the vertex up here at the top point of the U shape, that's going to be at 12, 18, okay, because it goes 12 to the right, halfway of 24, and then up 18. So because this is our vertex, 12, 18, we are going to remember that we switch the x value. So on the inside, instead of plus 12, it's going to be minus 12. And on the outside, a positive 18 is going to stay positive 18. So our equation is B. If you know the vertex, you can find the equation. Remember that you switch the x value for the inside, and the outside number is the y value, and it stays the exact same sign. Question number 5 is a quick factoring one, but it looks a little different than what you might have seen. So notice that it's saying that we're looking for which one is not a factor. So in order to find out which one is not a factor, we got to factor the equation using our calculator. So as long as all the letters are exactly the same, they're all use the letter X, there's no X and Y's, you can safely use menu 332. If you had X's and Y's, you might need to find the GCF and do grouping, do the pairs. But because it's all the letter X anyway, numbers and X's, we're going to use menu 332. Instead of going to the calculator, I'm going to just show you here. If you type it into the polyroots, menu 332, remember that you got to put comma X, and it gives me these numbers and fractions here. This is what the calculator will give you, and you can do it as well to verify it yourself, to make sure you understand how to factor anything using menu 332. Remember that the bottom of the fraction is going to go with the X, and the top of the fraction is going to switch signs. So it becomes 3x plus 4. So that means this fraction will give us 3x minus 4. And the numbers by themselves, you just switch their signs and you put an x in front of them. So x minus 2. So we look at our answer choices here for which of these does not show up. Okay, so 3x plus 4 shows up in our answer from the calculator, 3x minus 4, x minus 2. So the only odd one out is the x plus 2. So the answer is B. That is the one that is not a factor. The word factor just means one of these little pieces when you factor it using the calculator. Question number 6. Okay, we're given an equation and we're told that we're restricting it from negative infinity to 3. Now, instead of going to the calculator video, I'm going to just tell you that if you put this equation into the calculator, coincidentally, it actually ends up being the exact same graph here on letter D. That's not our answer. I'm just saying that this original graph is the one here on D. But we're not being asked to graph f of x. We're being asked to find which is the inverse. F negative 1 of x is the inverse. So I'm going to use letter D to figure out which of these other ones is actually the correct inverse. So I might want to start with the vertex. Vertex is going to be the most important thing for these U-shaped parabolas. This is 3, 5. Remember that for inverses, just like in question 1 of the first packet, we switch the coordinates. So 5, it becomes 5, 3. So on A, B, and C, I'll plot the point 5, 3. They all have the point 5, 3. Okay, but remember that they're telling us that it's restricted from negative infinity to 3, which means I'm going to cut this down the middle, and I'm only going to focus on the left side of this graph, not the right side. And if I only have the left side, then B is out because it has a top half and a bottom half when I should only have one half of my equation now. Every time a parabola is restricted, instead of becoming a full U shape, it cuts it in half. Now, in order to decide if it's A or C, because they both have 5, 3, I need to pick a second point. And because I'm interested on the left side, I'm going to pick a point on the left side of my graph because it says negative infinity, so that's the left side. So let's pick this one here, 0, 3, and because I'm looking for the inverse, then 0, 3 is going to become 3, 0, and then I plot 3, 0 on both A and C, and it lands on graph C. So the correct answer for number 6 is C. Keep in mind that you will usually want to check at least 2 points. Otherwise, you might end up in the situation here where you're not too sure which one it might be because both of them had the point 5, 3.